Wild fish stocks are declining, and as a result, fish have become a farmed commodity. This practice is known as aquaculture. Atlantic salmon is one of Australia's most popular fresh fish. Tassal, Tasmania's biggest Atlantic salmon farmer, are planning to expand into the Okehampton Bay on the southeast coast of Tasmania, seen here in the red circle. The red square shows a closer look at the lease site Tassal will take over. In an article for The Australian, Matthew Denholm discusses both sides of the debate about the Okehampton Bay proposed site and the opinions around federal funding and federal assessment. Using the appeal process, this article was deemed moderately credible, as it does discuss both sides. However, the complex issues of aquaculture are skimmed over with simple comments. Locals and conservationists are concerned the southern eastern location will affect whale migration patterns, specifically that of the southern right whale. There's also concerns for the local fur seal population and the overall richness of the benthic population in the bay due to poor water quality. The southern right whale is currently an endangered species. At first, comments made by locals in an interview with ABC's Landline, whose credibility is questionable, seems reassuring that whales would not be affected by the salmon farming operations. Until you compare it to the Conservation Management Plan for the southern right whale, part of the Environment Protection and Conservation Act, compiled by experts in the field, making it more credible. Okehampton Bay is situated in an emerging aggregation area seen here, and according to the plan is essential for the future growth of the southern right whale population. The Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies, a credible source compiled by specialists, state that salmon are best farmed in temperatures between 16 to 18 degrees Celsius. Peak temperatures in Okehampton Bay reached 19.5 degrees Celsius, and this is expected to rise with climate change. Salmon farming creates an excess of nutrients in the water. Price et al., a highly credible peer-reviewed article, state that best practice for finfish farming is to place pens in water with strong currents over 7 centimeters per second at the bottom of the water column, and in water that is at least double that of the pens used. Okehampton Bay lease ranges from 24 to 28 meters, with the average current speed in bottom waters only reaching 4.5 centimeters per second. This goes against Mayor Hobday and McLeod, who may have journalistic flair, however still all have authority to speak on the topic, making them credible. These authors state current management needs to be the best it can possibly be to ensure aquaculture is a sustainable practice. Thomas Eddy and others, also peer-reviewed and credible, state poor site choice could lead to eutrophication and decreased diversity in phytoplankton, benthic fauna, wild fish, marine mammals, and corals in the area. The overwhelming credible evidence is against the site being suitable. Triabunna, the town located nearest to the bay, according to the 2011 census, had unemployment rates of 13%, almost double that of the national average 5.6%. The aquaculture operations will bring a much-needed influx of jobs, with 70% of the prospective jobs to go to locals, according to Tassal. It is for this reason that some of the locals are excited for the development. This graph shows the direct correlation between aquaculture growth and the rate of Tasmanian employment. Aquaculture has created ancillary sectors such as the production of vessels, cages and feeds. It has also become Tasmania's highest agri-food commodity, as can be seen in this graph. It has been determined by the Tasmanian government that for the continued sustainable development of aquaculture in Tasmania, the public need to have a good perception of this practice. However, protests have and are still being taken out about the Okehampton Bay development. Tassal have been trying to improve their public image through certifications with the Aquaculture Stewardship Council and WWF. However, the credibility of these organisations has come into question, as Tassal have to pay large amounts of money to be part of them. There are many factors when looking at aquaculture sustainability. However, some of the key links are between research and new technologies and reducing excess waste, and impact to the ecosystem and the community opinion. Some of the indicators that would let us know if this development is sustainable is the percentage of compliance with imposed regulations, the percentage of employment given to the local community, as well as the percentage of waste created versus the percentage of product developed. Tassal are implementing some strategies to make the site more sustainable, such as seal-proof nets and integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, which helps remove excess nutrients from the water. They utilise mussels and seaweeds to do this. While initial costs for this may be high, Yip et al. Recognise that people were more likely to purchase fish using these techniques, which could increase revenue and help mitigate the negative perception of Tassal in the community. However, these strategies do rely on new technology whose long-term capabilities is still unknown. In the case of Okehampton Bay, the conditions are not considered best practice, something Mayor Hobday and McLeod as well as Price et al. State is essential for sustainability. Also, considering the fact that this site has so much public contention, possibly affecting the sustainability of aquaculture in Tasmania in general, I believe Tassal are ignoring the place and people in the triple bottom line in pursuit of profit, and validates the fury discussed in Denholm's article.